draw some new leads. We got the Necronomicon and Torn Apart by Great Force. Next we have Meadow Hill, which is a locked card. I could not play it here. Well, I can't play it here anyway because the symbols don't match. But I only have one key and there's already a lock there. I would have had to have another key here. I don't want to waste that card. I don't want to discard it and incur another time penalty right away. So I'm going to choose to take it and place it in my hand. Shift everything down. Draw Moses Servant. The seller has the magnifying glass or the collection symbol, and that can be played in either location here. At the bottom of the seller card, we have the symbol that says we can take a card from the discard area. There's nothing here that I really feel is super important to take right now, so I would not trigger that power since it is optional. We already have a location symbol in this row of investigation right there. We don't have one down here. So we'll take the seller and place it down here on the Frank Elwood investigation. Shift everything. And draw Object from Outside. It's an artifact card. Again, there are only 6 of those in the deck. We see 2 of them here already. We have the Pit of Shoggoth. It is also a location symbol, unfortunately. But if we play it, that symbol at the bottom says we can take a card from the time penalty area. So we could reduce our time penalty by 1. But again, our hand is full. If we take one, we have to discard one. I'm going to discard the Pit of Shoggoth, which will cause the time penalty to trigger, putting our 3rd card in that area, and I will play Shoggoth from my hand that has a surveillance symbol. It does have that 3, but both investigation rows have 3 already, so it's safe to play it. We'll play it right here on Asenath Waite. She has 3 different symbols going right now. And we're set up nicely with those 2 threat symbols. We'll be able to pull that puzzle piece out and leave a threat symbol. So we need 2 more symbols here, or 2 more different types of clues, so we can close that investigation. We'll shift everything and get Father Iwanicki, priest. We have the Necronomicon available here. Oh, and I forgot. Totally forgot. I played Shoggoth from my hand, which means I should have done a stability penalty check, which would have been the Father Iwanicki card. He doesn't have that symbol, so he would get discarded. And he doesn't have a time penalty, so he will stay in the discard pile. The symbol next to it means I could shuffle the discards into the draw stack. Right now we're not in danger of running out of the draw stack. That's another thing you have to watch for, because if the draw stack is empty and you are supposed to draw a card, it brings out another victim, and then again, if we have no victim cards and we're required to draw one, we would lose. So let's fill this row up properly with Paul Dombrowski, the landlord. Now that everything is set straight, we can look at playing the Necronomicon, which is an artifact. I try not to use artifacts on the same row as monsters because there's a limited number of both of them. In this case it's okay because I have the magnifying glass collection symbol that would match up nicely with the seller here. So we will play that, trigger the stability penalty check, draw a card. Luckily it does not have one. It does not have a time symbol. We're getting really lucky with our stability checks. And here we see a symbol that there are only two of in the whole deck. And that is search the draw stack for one card. So I can look through here if I want to for a card, and I will because I have an opening right here. I searched through the draw stack and chose to take Children's Bones into my hand, and then I reshuffled the stack. I didn't see in the rules where it said to reshuffle the stack, but it would make sense to reshuffle it since I was looking through it and I knew what was coming up next and several cards into it. So it would only make sense that I would reshuffle it. I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's the way I played it. The Necronomicon is played. Everything shifts. And we get Randolph Carter, author. Our first lead has the threat symbol, which we already have plenty of here. So we're going to discard it, and it does not have a hourglass or time penalty on it. And I can play a card from my hand. And I will play Irresistible Pull, and it has the any symbol, which means it can match up to anything. And we'll place it down there, that way we have a key in this open investigation here. Now I have to discard something from my hand. I grabbed Children's Bones because I wanted to use it. So I will discard Meadow Hill, which is also one of the puzzle symbols. And it has a time penalty, so it'll go there. So I'll have to be smart about it and try and draw it out of here, because there are 4 cards that allow you to draw a card from the time penalty area. We will shift everything down and draw Keziah Mason, which another one of our puzzle pieces. Moses Sargent, servant. His symbol doesn't match anything open here. He has a time penalty. The object from outside has a time penalty, but Paul Dombrowski does not. So I will take Moses Sargent into my hand, shift everything down, draw a rat bite. I will take the first lead, which is the object from outside, and also take it to my hand since there is room. Shift everything down. John Upham, or Upham, math professor. Now I'm in a place where I don't have a time penalty, so Paul Dombrowski, our landlord, will get discarded so I can play a card from my hand, and I will play, not that one, but this one, Children's Bones. These symbols match up. I have a key in the row. We have another card with an evidence symbol on it ready to take its place, so I can score that card when I get to it. But right now we only have 4 different kinds of symbols. We need a 5th, and that would either be the person of interest or the monster symbol. Since there are 10 persons of interest in the deck, that's more likely the one we should go for. We do have to do a stability check. Does not occur, will get discarded. The alley does have a time penalty though. So now we'll go through the maintenance phase again. Check for victory condition. No. Stability penalty area, still empty. That's a good thing. But the time penalty area does have 5 or more cards in it. The first thing you do when you incur a time penalty is you draw a victim card and open another case. And this will be Joel Manton, teacher. And remember, we only have 2 victim cards left, so we have to be careful. And then we take all the cards from the time penalty area and place them in the discard. And we'll shift everything over. Shambling Corpse. Randolph Carter, author. He is a key card, and he has the any symbol. So we'll play him on our new investigation with Joel Manton. That way we have a key in place already. We'll shift everything down, and that worked out really good for Keziah Mason Witch. At the bottom of Randolph Carter, we could take one from the discard pile. Let me look and see if there's worth taking anything. Yes, there was. And I chose to take the Meadow Hill card back. I have a space in my hand for it, so that worked out good. I've already shifted everything down. Violet Witchlights. Keziah Mason Witch has the interview symbol, and so does Randolph Carter, who also has the key already. So that worked out really well. We'll place her right there. We do need to do a stability check. No problem, but we have to discard it, and it has a time penalty on the Arkham Sanitarium. Now we could shuffle the discard into the draw stack. I think I'll do that this time. That way we don't run low on cards and have to draw a victim card again too quick. Give it another quick mix, even though I shuffled it well. Alright. And now we have a nice tall stack for the draw stack. Everything will shift. Father Iwaniki, Priest, is back. But we have to deal with this rat bite, and it cannot be played anywhere. It is a time penalty to discard it, but I can't play it on an open case. I could take it to my hand, but every card in my hand also has a time penalty, so it's going to happen either way. Alright, I'm going to discard the rat bite, which has a time penalty on it. Adding our second card to the time penalty area, and by discarding it, I will choose to play a card from my hand, and I'll play Meadow Hill. The symbols match up. I don't have a second key here, so I will use the key side of Dr. Armitage, my professional contact, to allow me to play that lock card there as if there was a key, or another key in this case, in the row. And that is it for him. He is gone for the game. There is no symbol at the bottom of Meadow Hill, nothing to play, so everyone will shift down, and we will draw Scratching Inside Walls, another key card. We have John Upham, the math professor, with an interview symbol on the left. That matches up with either one of these, and he has the person of interest symbol, which we don't need down here, but we do need up there, so that'll work out nice. We'll take John Upham and place him on this investigation. We do have a symbol that we could use to take one card from the time penalty area, which there are two of there, but is that necessary at this time? Let me take a look and see what's there. Both cards that are in the time penalty area have the surveillance symbol on the left, and that doesn't play anywhere on here right now. I do have a location up there, a location clue, which I could use to offset this puzzle piece when I close the case out. But right now, we're looking at Frank Elwood's case. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 symbols. So we could close this case out in the next turn, or in a turn coming up, because I definitely want to use that monster card that's going to be coming up. And we have this puzzle piece with the evidence symbol, and we have another evidence symbol over here, so we can take that puzzle piece, and that'll work out nice. There are 7 clues in this open case here. That's the max you can have without having to do a stability check. if you place a card in the line after the 7th, you have to do a stability check before you actually play the effects of that card that you've placed past the 7th spot. We played the card. We're not going to take one out of the time penalty area. And we drew Ill-Regarded Island. We have the monster here, the shambling corpse. We already have a monster in this investigation line, but we don't have one down here. So that would be the smartest place to do it. So we'll take that first lead, place it in that line of investigation. The shambling corpse has a stability check that must be done. No, we discard, but the Crown and Shield house does have a hourglass symbol, which will cause our 3rd time penalty. Let's move everything down. Ephraim Waite, Wizard. Another puzzle piece. Here we are, the violet witch lights with a research symbol, which could match up here, but we don't need any more there. If I discard it, it's going to be a time penalty. I could take it to my hand, and then in the next turn, Father Iwaniki, I could discard him and not have a time penalty. Yeah, let's do that. I'll take the violet witch lights into my hand. And now we have cyclical disappearances. Now we will discard Father Iwaniki in order to close a case. First, we have to have at least 5 different clue symbols, and we do. We have a threat symbol, an evidence symbol, location, artifact, then we have another threat, another evidence, but for our 5th one we have person of interest. Now I can score a clue card as long as I have a card to take its place, or if we had 6 symbols it wouldn't be a problem either. But I do have another evidence symbol, so I can take the Children's Bones, which is a puzzle clue card, and place my first one finally over here in the big picture. And again, we need 5 of those with different symbols in order to win the game. So the first one we have there is an evidence clue. And all other cards that are in the closed case will be gathered up, and they will go to the closed cases area, which is above reference card 3. So these will be just off camera. You'll be able to see just the bottom of it. But that is our first closed case. I'll shift everything else up here. And we're ready to continue. We close that case. Queerly Angled Garret as a key card. Next we have Scratching Inside Walls, and it can be played on any. It has the evidence symbol, and none of our cases that are currently open have the evidence symbol, but it's also a key, and we don't need a key right now.